This is the most destructive team on NXT right now.
Take your shields. Take your Wyatt families. Take your elites. Take your bullet clubs. Take your absolutions. Also feature Mandy Rose.
Absolution.
And your white riot squads. This is the most dangerous faction in all of WWE or all of wrestling, period. Fear! Toxic attraction.
Do you know what was missing though? And the thing that I clearly missed was like they have their own entrance music, yeah. But I still wanted to have the hit of
That's like when Chavo comes out. You need the ooh Chavo, otherwise it ain't really him. She's had it for so long. I want the full interest of gold and everything. But she's really hookered these girls up, and she makes no sense of what her reasoning is.
That is true. 100%. This is not the thumbnail though. I did go sensible this week.
Oh, what? You picked the match of the week. You picked some wrestling. Manny chose wrestling. That's what we should tell the episode. Manny chooses wrestling.
I haven't chosen wrestling because I've chosen the Squid Games. I've chosen the Squid Games, and we'll get more into that afterwards.
I see one episode, Manny. I can't. Sheba. I only know that because that's what I deal with every day at work. Sheba.
I'm gonna play red light, green light when we get back after this.
Hey, with the
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus Show. Remember to like the video and subscribe. Ow, ow, ow!
Hey!
Oh!
Check out the Marcus and Manny Show.
I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
And just like a squid, he spat in his face with black ink.
I feel like that would have been me, and I wasn't even a part of the match. Spit no Cody. Bah! Just spewed all my black hate on him. I'm sorry, missed.
Black hate.
Congratulations, Cody. You were the only black guy on Dynamite this week.
Well, that's the black. I mean, Malachi Black. Welcome everyone to the Untitled Manny and Marcus Show. I am, of course, Lord Manny Hayes, and I'm joined by
Marcus, the grand finale! Who would have died in the first episode of the Squid Games? Guaranteed! My fat ass would have fell down or something. I would have sneezed. All of a sudden I have allergies. I feel like everything would have went wrong.
So you would have had an Indian guy hold you up. That guy had strength. Did you see it?
Yes, yeah.
Mad
I was like,
strength.
oh man. What does he do with his right arm to keep everybody up like that? It was like, good.
Duh!
You know what? You want to know why I would have died in that first episode? Spoiler alert for whatever. But I would have been a human shield. Someone would have got behind my fat ass right away. You too, Manny. I know you're slimmer than me, but I would have got behind your fat ass too. Okay? There's no getting around it.
Well, you would have hidden behind me.
No, I feel like somebody else would have hit behind you before I even got there. And somebody would have already been on my back. I would have had that old man on my back.
What, number one?
Yeah, number one.
No, I would have had that guy. I would have had that guy with the snake on his face. Who has a tattoo snake
I know.
tattooed on
Just-
their face like here?
It seems like that's a painful and very uncomfortable tattoo to get to. And especially in the pandemic era. I bet you it was fresh. Shout out to
Levi said he'd get behind the bear cat.
Can't keep leaving. Bass in my That's honestly, if somebody could put a video together, and that's how it felt to be on the WWE roster this year. You were just walking, all of a sudden, Vince McMahon, like, oh shit! Why? Didn't think Bray Wyatt would get hit, but he did.
I do have to put up this image again because of what Levi said. Cody was blacked.
Blacked. But you know, with all Squid Games, 8 spitting on Cody aside, let's jump into this show. Shout out to
you had news. You want to talk about Walter?
Oh, come on! I didn't want to bring this bad news up. See, hesitation. I did. I said it in the pre-show. I meant to say it somewhere in the middle of the week, but I hate that I have to say this, and I don't care. I know what type of human being I am, and this is the bad thing I do. This is why I want to get canceled.
I know what type of human being I am.
And this is Walter, my friend. I'm sorry about your divorce, but I've never been happier in my life. Come to the United States. Big booty black women for you everywhere. Let's go. Get away. Take the dog away from her. She didn't deserve you, Walter. Come to the States. I need you to fight the tribal chief. I need you to get fired and go to AEW. I need all of this stuff to happen. Come on, Walter. Come into the U.S. It's finally happening. I've never been more happy about a divorce in my life than Walter may come to the States.
You are a horrible person.
I'm a piece of shit. I know it. I know it.
So we've got Maurice in the chat. He's double watching us.
Nice.
He's cranking up them views for us.
Yep. Don't forget to like twice. We gotta balance that with the dislikes, you know?
Oh yeah, last week's Thursday show somehow got 13 dislikes. Which I don't understand what we did.
I feel like we were attacked like Ric Flair and Tommy Dreamer last week, but that was later, you know? I don't know what we did.
As Dave Chappelle once said, haters gonna hate, lovers gonna love. I don't want none of the above. I want to piss on you. Piss on you, I piss on you, I piss on you.
Drip, drip. Oh man, this show's been derailed right off the go. Right off the jump, we've been derailed, talking to horrible stuff. So don't forget to
want to die. That's it, Maurice. That is what I'm talking about. 13 people want to die. We're taking them to the Squid Games.
Take it to the Squid Games. Bang, 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 bang. All right, that's all the news I had to jump. So we're gonna start with the explosive, the amazing 20,000 people stadium in the Arthur Ashe Arena, AEW Dynamite, which started off, Manny, with the bang of bang. It was like the big bang of the universe. We got Kenny Omega versus the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. It was a match I thought should have been the main event because there's nothing on this planet that was following that. Nothing. Maybe, you know, Okada or something. But nothing in the American.
Why did you say it like that? Maybe. Yeah, so this match was insane.
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, Mandy Rose V-Trigger still the most powerful V-Trigger in the game. Because Kenny attempted about 5, hit 4. But the one from the outside, I thought Bryan was dead.
I went, oh, he got that running start. I was, honestly, when he got that running start, I was like, please don't trip, Kenny. Please don't trip. If he lets us, because that plexiglass looks so slick. I was like, he can slip. He's sweaty. You know, anything can happen. Don't slip and ruin your V-Trigger. But he nailed that shit. And I was like, oh, good God.
Do you know anything that was missing from that? From that spot?
Someone yelled at V-Trigger?
The Terminator spot.
He did that later.
He did that later, but I thought it needed for this V-Trigger. It needed it for this V-Trigger.
He busted his ass when he did the Terminator spot. Bryan either just sidestepped him and caught him, and he was like, Kenny went straight to the pad on that. You know, as I normally do on this show, I call Kevin Kelly the worst commentator in the game, but I did miss him. I do miss him in Kenny Omega matches yelling V-Trigger, because these other fools never yell it. They never yell it. They never yell it and get me hyped about it.
I mean, this is the first time I've saw a Kenny match that rivaled or come close to his New Japan stuff.
Yeah. This was like this is a Kenny Omega throwback right here, and it was like, oh, Kenny is back. I don't know if he had to come back for this one. I mean, who wouldn't be hyped? The crowd was hyped, and you're fighting probably one of the most popular WWE wrestlers in the world right now. Man, I was so excited this match. I popped because I got old American Dragon stuff when he's complaining to the ref, I have till 5, and he started kicking his head in, and I was like, I haven't seen Bryan Danielson like this in a long time.
So, El Luchador said this before we even went live. The match was amazing and flew by. It left so much story yet to be told and had an Okada and Omega vibe. It did.
I thought it was a better vibe. I thought that crowd brought it more than the Japanese crowd, because the Japanese crowd is a different crowd, and this crowd was pure angst and testosterone from middle-aged men who ain't seen wrestling in years or whatever it is. So, but you know, with all this great praise, I'm going to come down with this match.
Before you throw out your hatred, Levi said the match. You can just pull it out and then just get it ready.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna unwarrantedly pull it out. I'm not Ric Flair here, all right? I'm just gonna pull it out. I'll pull it out when it's appropriate.
The match with Levi said the match was epic. I have it slightly over Walter Dragunov, runner-up to the cage match.
I think I got Walter Dragunov ahead of it.
I think Walter Dragunov only because it was my match of the year for 2020, and then the only thing that was missing was the fans, and they added the fans to it, and then it became even more for me. So that's why Walter and Dragunov is higher for me. But this match still is up there, but it's because it ended in a draw. I don't think I can put it there, and I don't think there was enough behind it story wise enough to go, you know what, that was great. Because I like having a bit more story behind a match for my emotional involvement in it.
Okay, so this is why it's behind Dragunov, and Manny, I'm bringing the bag of hate out. Sorry guys, sorry AEW fans. This is the only thing they're gonna remember. All the AEW fanboys, they're only going to remember the thing I hated about it. Because on the Facebooks, you know, many know I kindly go on there every now and then and kind of, you know, stay stuff. And I like to start stuff, you know. It's just whoever I am, you know. It's just, this time I couldn't resist me being really pumped and off the adrenaline of that match. But as time closed and it ended, I hated that. And I understand the draw finish. People would think that, oh, you hated the draw. No, I don't care about the draw. I wouldn't care if the Young Bucks came and got a DQ finish.
No, I just wanted DQ finish.
Yeah, well, whoever. I don't care if I didn't get a finish or they saved or protected one of the wrestlers. My issue was the way everything went down, literally in the post-match and how it happened. It was just ended. It felt gross. It was like, eat a fine meal, they hang you out dessert, and it's a piece of shit on a bowl. Probably ice cream, but I'm not eating that shit. Chocolate ice cream looks like shit, man. You can't confuse me that. But anyway, they bring it up because in the middle of it, they just throwing random punches. And it just seemed like it ended. And I had an analogy that I'm not going to even look on Facebook. But if you watch a UFC and boxing fight, a great fight, and they're going at it to the bell rings, and it's like, oh man, that was crazy, epic. That's how I want that match to end. Other than it just seemed like it ended on a whimper. And then you had their post-match antics of the Young Bucks and Cole and everybody, you know, attacking Bryan. And then they just ended the segment. And I was like, no, let this breathe a little bit. Have both competitors out, tired, exhausted. Kenny yelling or something like, I would have had you, or Bryan yelling. And then maybe we go back to the back and we get some post-match interview. Let the match breathe. They just went right to CM Punk, and it made me mad. I just didn't like that transition at all. That was the most epic match they've ever had on Dynamite, and they just was like, it happened.
Maurice asks, post-bell, does it really affect the match itself?
Yeah, it does to me sometimes. The match was fine. It was great. But that post stuff, ever since once the bell rang, it was kind of like, oh, okay. I know that, like, you knew they were going to the draw because they really emphasized a 30-minute time limit, like 8 times, so people could be prepared for it. But it just ended weird there, and then that post-match stuff just didn't. It just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. Was the match bad? No. But I'm just saying the post-match stuff just put a bad taste in my mouth.
The post-match stuff bothered me because it happens with every AEW. I would say 80% of AEW matches, where that stuff happens, and I don't know, it hasn't been booked yet, but there's going to be a Super Click and Kenny, the Elite versus the Jungle Friends and and Christian Cage and
Christianity in the jungle.
And Bryan Danielson. There'll be an 8-man probably in the future coming up. And I just don't like. I hate the way they force multiple man tag matches like that just for the sake of it. But I didn't mind the draw. It reminded me of many matches I've enjoyed in the past with like Samoa Joe, CM Punk in Ring of Honor, and then even Okada and Kenny I think went to a draw in one of their long matches where both of them were freaking exhausted. But I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, I honestly don't have a problem with it. Eric asked, would you prefer the match was followed by another match, or was Punk's promo the right thing to follow? I didn't like Punk's promo.
Manny, hold the hate. Hold the hate.
I didn't like Punk's promo. When you tell me for weeks this is happening, weeks. You told me for a whole week this is happening. I expected more than I'm happy to be here. I was like,
Okay, so in the defense of the Punk promo following, I don't mind the Punk promo following. I just wish they would have emphasized on what we just saw. That we just had an epic bang. I'm talking about replays, interviews, just going like, wow, what a match. Instead, CM Punk music hits immediately. He comes out, and I'm going to say this. I agree with you, Manny. The dude just rambled. Was I mad about the placement? No. It's just it was a good cool down after that epic match. But he just rambled again. He said nothing, and he seemed like he was just commenting on social media and shit. But I was like, I just don't care.
But realistically, if you are like a diehard AEW fan, a fanboy, this isn't a cooldown for you. This is CM fucking Punk. This isn't a cooldown for you. Because then the cooldown then becomes MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr.
That should have been next or something. I don't know. I feel like the ordering of the show is bad. They should have just did the main event and ended with that. I don't like. I feel like that should have just been the way. CM Punk's, he rambled. I don't think we're gonna cover this in details. What he talked about.
I don't
he was
remember
just like,
anything he said.
He basically was like, whatever, y'all wanted me to be angry, whatever, I'm mad, I'm gonna be mad, Hobbs trying to put me through a table, whatever, wrestling is back in New York, WWE shot, whatever, it was very whatever. He was mad on his own promo. I don't think I'm saying much. Someone give that man a script.
Yeah. I mean, when you're happy, there ain't much to rant about, to be honest.
Yeah. And, no one is saying CM Punk needs to get angry. It's just that he needs that edge back that he had in his prime, in which he was fighting against the Machine or had something that he believed the shit he was saying. Yeah. I feel like this guy is just not believing what he's saying. I do not care. He did not sell me on him versus Hobbs at all. He should have sold me Hobbs is a dangerous monster and he's scary. He's a monster. That table, it really hurt my back. But this Friday, I'm going to whoop his ass. But he really didn't kind of go over all that. He kind of just was like, I love this crowd reaction. You guys are great. They say I should end the Love Fest and all that. But, that's just what it is.
And then I did mention this in our pre-show, MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr. And then I likened it to the way WWE and NXT 2.0 have changed up the name of Braun Breaker.
So you're coming on board with the Braun Breaker?
I'm on board with the Braun Breaker because sometimes you just need to step away from what your father was.
But he's not really stepping away when Ciampa is massaging his back after the match.
Yeah.
But he sounds like Scott Steiner. And he dresses like Rick and Scott together.
Yeah. There's that, but they're not. Commentary ain't forcing the whole Steiner stuff on me. When you're forcing this whole Brian Pillman stuff on me, and then I see Brian Pillman Jr. and I am not entertained by what I'm seeing.
Yes.
You shouldn't be doing that because like then you're actually then what I see is you're putting a stain on your father's legacy.
Cause Brian Pillman Jr. I do not get any hype around him. He falls in the category to me of Brock Anderson and Dolph Ziggler's brother. When I look at him and go like, I don't really want that. I don't see anything here. And maybe you can prove me wrong when you're in the ring, but no, I don't really see anything. Like when I watch Braun Breaker, I look at it and go like, that's a fucking Steiner. And he's a monster, and he is something to be reckoned with. When I look at Randy Orton, I go, that's Cowboy Bob's son. Even though Randy Orton has clearly surpassed his dad on every different level. I'm just saying, the legacy looks bigger. Or when you look at Charlotte, you go like, there you go.
But like when you look at Brian Pillman Jr., I don't see anything that his father did, and the fact that they keep bringing it up just makes it think. Well, when I go back and look at Brian Pillman, is he going to be shit?
Like, oh, that's just like that. But he's like wearing the bango outfit. He's really going hard with it.
He's going too hard on it.
And whatever you think of Dominic Mysterio, at least he's. Like, I feel like he's at least separated himself from his dad. I know they still come out together, but the moveset is a little different. Like, he moves differently, he's bigger, and you may not like him or not, but I don't know. I just don't feel like he's 100%. Brian Pillman feels like 100% a bad clone of Brian Pillman.
But do you think the way they're going about it also sounds like really bad charity? Like the way they paraded -1 on TV for a while, where it was just like let's get the hook. It was almost like let's cash in on this guy's death, kind of thing. Even though it may have been, it may have the right heart. It may have been therapeutic for the kid to live out what his father did and stuff like that, because he's probably never going to experience that ever again. But what they do with him feels like really bad charity to me.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just all based on the Dark Side of the Ring, that he had a Dark Side of the Ring, he was on there, and it seemed to get traction, but not a lot of people saw that. Not a lot of people, I've seen it, and kind of, I was like, oh, it's an interesting story, it's fucking crazy, his dad, but it makes me want to see his dad more, and I feel like, I'd rather see Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman is so much more interesting. He's more interesting.
Lucha Dog say, yeah, Dominic is shit compared to his dad, Eddie Guerrero.
Never live up to that.
Eric does ask, where does MJF go now? It's hard to tell. Because realistically, he's the most over heel in AEW. And I feel like, because Kenny's the champion, he can't even go near that title at the moment.
Alright, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did you think do you think he was going to strike Julie Hart last night?
Oh, I thought it was going to happen.
I thought he was going to just shove her on the ground or some shit.
Do you know
that's the kind of heel he is. I was like, oh shit.
Like, do you know the numerous times in the feud between Hit Row and Legado?
Yeah.
The amount of times before they added what's her name?
Elektra
Lopez. Before they added her, there was so many times where Santos squared up. But he squared up to be found. I was like, he might hit her.
He might go down this route. He does not look like a good guy. But back on topic, where I want MJF to go, I want him to battle one of the main people. Like one of the main characters on the show.
Like Darby,
a real feud with Darby, because I think they had a one-off. They had like a one-off.
Yeah, they had a
match. They had like a match or something that didn't actually count. I'd rather see him go after a Darby, or I like to see him and CM Punk, go at it with promos. They're not going to do anything for a while.
I mean, CM Punk MJF could be good for the mic stuff.
Black is a heel, but he has an easy face turn. He gets cheered all the time anyway. Maybe go after him, one of the big dogs or something. I don't know, but hopefully he goes somewhere in the title picture. I don't know where Hangman fits in all this, to be honest. Like they have a problem, but it's a good problem in which they have a lot of talent up top, but you don't really know where it's gonna mesh and who's gonna go over and all that. Well, you just know there are people lost in the shuffle.
I mean, that was the problem when WWE had too many people and then they had to get rid of all those people. Levi said, "Did anyone see the tweet from MJF's mother?" Yes,
I did.
We are
Hilarious.
MJF's parents, but we don't like him also.
I heard that. I think I saw somewhere that, or read somewhere that he cut a promo in New York and started talking shit about his mom.
Nice.
And I was like, that's a heel right there. Fuck you, mom. Ha.
So we got a few suggestions: MJF versus Orange Cassidy.
No.
Eric says, "I think MJF versus Christian. I think he would. I think Christian would come out worse against MJF.
Yeah, but it'd be solid.
What's this? Hangman coming to win back the title at Full Gear. Hangman and MJF would be a good program. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what I want to see? MJF versus Wardlow. It needs to happen. It needs. I need Wardlow to go off on his own.
What is MJF going to do to cross the line? Because he's already talked about the Pillman family. Wardlow got ticked off. What would be the line crosser? Because I feel like something might be too light at this point. He's like, that's what you're pissed off about, Wardlow? Come on, big man.
I mean, there was that whole thing where he told him to stand in the corner because that's all he just lets all walk past him the last time. So I think Wardlow needs to get his own back.
I think if the way to start the Wardlow and the MJF feud, I think they should have started with this Pillman story, and in the match, Wardlow somehow would have cost MJF the match, and then the next week on Dynamite, MJF just goes in on Wardlow, call him a worthless piece of shit, and fires him, and then Wardlow just tries to attack him or whatever. Nice turn. Or Pinnacle jumps him out.
Yeah,
they're still a They're still a faction. They're still cool.
Yeah, so we didn't even say it. MJF beats Brian Pillman Jr.
Moving on. No, and you know what one of my main problems in this match was? Brian Pillman Jr. tried to wrestle MJF for like most of it. This man has talked ill of your family. You should be throwing haymakers.
I would have got DQ'd and just beat him up.
Yeah, he was. And then he like tapped right away. This man has talked ill of your family. You should be trying to fight this man with all costs. But he went in there like, I'm going to go for a hammerlock. Let's go with this. I'm like, what are you doing? Trying to kill a man.
If he really wants to be a throwback to his dad, he needs to bring out the gun. You need to bring out the gun. All right? You want to be a throwback to your dad, Brian Pillman, you bring out a gun on TV.
You need to be more loose cannon than, the guy that, I don't even know what. Yeah, the Flying Brian Pillman. No one wants Flying Brian. We want the loose cannon. But, yeah. Moving on.
We get moving on to Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes, who returns with Arn and his stupid playbook.
I thought you were about to say his wife. I was like, that's harsh. Man, he's out of control. He returns with Arn and his stupid wife. Oh shit, man, he's spicy. Oh yeah, okay.
I have expressed numerous times I do not like Brandy Rhodes. Needless to say, but Brandy was there too.
Yeah.
I mean, Brandy getting cross-legged and telling Black to go "fuck you" was hilarious.
It was.
But I feel like he should have got her too with a mist.
But so with this, Cody was booed. He was booed dramatically. Yeah, and I believe everybody saw this come because I don't believe there was a single person in the world rooting for Cody in this match. Like, this was John Cena in Chicago at Money in the Bank or at ECW type of, I don't want you to win. I can't take it.
I mean, he got booed when he came back. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. When in the stands with Rosario, right?
Yeah, when Rosario should be in prison for jumping the stands.
Yeah, and attempting to kill a person. Those people from New York, man, they don't care. They have no respect.
I mean, she actually hurt Malachi Black more than Cody did in this match.
Yeah, I want to say, for the record, I'd rather see Rosario Dawson versus Malachi Black than Cody. I want to know how that would go down.
And the highlight of this match, Arn Anderson thinking he's a slim man trying to hold on to the ring post and turn the ring post with no steps. What are you doing, you rotund
Yeah.
man?
I was like, oh no. When he fell, I went, ooh.
When he-
I hope he can get up, because he's at the age where you fall down, you don't get up. That's what it said. But he did get up, and he suffered, and they did some awkward spot, and, you know, I did not like this match at all.
But-
And I'm
by the
gonna,
way-
I didn't like it. I didn't
By
like
the way,
it.
if I found a high-res image of Arn falling off the apron, that would have been the thumbnail today. I don't
You're a
even
terrible
care.
person.
I don't care. I've told you numerous times I don't like that Arn Anderson. I don't like
Yeah.
Arn.
I don't like Arn Anderson, you know, he's a big baby falling off the apron. But
And even Marie said it. Arn had no business trying to swing around a post like that. Trying to act like he's some big mama in the strip club.
well, he was doing it when he got on the apron after Cody landed crossroads or whatnot. And he got on there. I was like, why was he on the apron? And then he slowly scooted himself around to that pole awkwardly so they can get to the spot just so he can get on. And Cody said, check. I was like, get back in the damn mat. I thought that was when Cody was going to turn on him or something. I don't know. Did Cody turn heel by bitch slapping the referee, which should have got a DQ? He was like, ah, bitch.
He should have. I think it was
But-
because I think they realized, you know what, they're booing him.
Turn me heel. Which is the better Cody?
And then obviously he gets misted.
He gets blacked. Now, for those who said that Malachi Black was not buried by Cody and they're happy, he wasn't protected by Cody either. It took the miss to take out Cody, and his kick. The spot that I thought was funny was when he knocked Cody out and he goes out the ring. I was like, oh, he really knocked him out. He go out the ring to try to pick him up. But Cody no-sold to being knocked out real quick after. Like, Aleister Black trying to lift him in. He's dead weight. He gets in. It's like 5. Cody gets in the ring. Oh, I'm doing springboards and I'm bouncing around. I don't believe no one comes back after being knocked the fuck out like that.
I think this is not over for a long shot, which means there's a chance he gets Brandy.
If only we could have had Selena in AEW instead of dealing with Carmella's broken nose. If she could have been here and beat up Brandy, it would have been epic feud.
Just for a second there, I didn't have any idea who you were fucking talking about. I was like, the way you said Zelina, it sounded like you said it with an S. I was like, who the hell is Selena?
It's Zelina Vega. I don't know. Maybe I did. But to be continued in the Cody and the Blacks.
Aleister Black and Brandy? Is that what you're referring to as the Blacks? Nobody wants another Brandy match, Marcus.
This is what Cody meant by liberating black people, and he's failing at it even in the match against Malachi. But yeah, and finally we get to the second best match on the show.
No, we don't. We got the Miro promo where he said God demands pain while his wife demands pleasure. There's sometimes pain too.
Can we just have Miro proverbs on the corner somewhere in the show? If we could just decorate it with Miro proverbs, it's all about his wife. It's all about Lana, who I thought was gonna make an appearance tonight for some reason.
Sammy Guevara may be claiming to be the Spanish god, but Sammy Guevara is the Spanish fraud. That's what he's now known. But he's now known on this show, the Spanish fraud.
Clever man. That's a clever man right there. The fraud, Sammy Guevara. It was Sting, but now it's Sammy Guevara.
I mean, Sting is still a fraud.
He's 63 or 68 or whatever he is these days, and he's doing hurricanranas off the top ropes. I know he wasn't.
So Marcus gave this episode of AEW Dynamite a minus B minus.
A B minus. It's
Because
an average show.
this is one of these reasons for FTR versus Sting and Darby Allin, where FTR come out in NWO gear.
It's been done. And maybe they worked with the New Day and they were saying, you guys can be the Wolfpack. We do the NWO thing. Wolfpack is pro Sting. NWO is against Sting, although you could be representing fake Sting. I don't know how far you want to get into this minutia, but I feel like they couldn't do it. You couldn't do this. You can't do it. It's been done. You can't do it. The New Day has done. Once the New Day did it, it was like, oh, we can't do this.
But like, who were they representing though? Because the New Day was supposed to be Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. So who were these
The
two?
Outsiders. They
Who
were
these two?
Horace and the Disciple because they clearly lost. Maybe one of them decided to be Hogan. I don't know. But you know, to me, this was a solid match. Sting wrestled in his t-shirt, nice cool shirt. You know, big entrance. I still think Darby should separate himself from Sting, and FTR in their defense. They left WWE because they were jobbing to a 40-year-old man. Now they're jobbing to a 60-year-old man. Give these men a break.
That's what I said. What has FTR done that they are not liked by either promotion? They need to go to Japan. They need to go to Japan.
They had a very short. It was a short tag team reign, right? I feel like it didn't even last a few months, right? Very short before the Bucks took it.
Yeah.
And then they just been in the middle of the road with this storyline. Like, them losing to Sting is doing nothing for them. They're not going anywhere with that in Darby, so.
Levi said they were Horace and Norton in honor of WCW Thunder.
Not Buff, huh?
No one's the stuff.
They were Virgil and DiBiase.
The only person on the AEW roster that could claim that they're the stuff is Miro.
Yeah.
The only one I would accept.
So this was a solid match. It didn't blow me away. I feel like people were blown away by Sting and stuff, but I feel like he just did Sting shit. You know,
I mean, he
chops,
did what a 6-year-old man would do.
Got no height, you know. I was like, you know, it's fine. It's nice, impressive, but to me it was a solid match. It was just okay. But it was, to me, the second best match of the show because I didn't care about anything after the Daniel Bryan match. And then we get to the main event.
Well, first, Levi says FTR will be the team that beats the Lucha Bros. I don't think that'd be. I think it'd be Pride and Powerful, if I'm honest. Jen says, but Sting did shit at 68. Good man. Yeah, but Bullet Bob Armstrong did shit in Impact, and he was like 75. And I didn't like that stuff. I didn't like that stuff then, and I don't like this stuff now.
Hold on, Jerry the King Lawler just had a match with Scott Steiner, and I don't know how old Jerry the King Lawler is, but I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure
he's
Jerry
about
the
to
King
sing
Lawler. Jerry King Lawler doesn't have in his own heart anymore at this moment in time. He has a pig heart.
Yeah, he's out there. He got no credit. He did it for like 10 people. It was Scott Steiner. And I know it's impressive for a 60-year-old man to do it, but I'm not blown away. I'm sorry. To me, it's just a match. I don't think, in the quote, the great Raphael, who is the most casual wrestling fan ever, who was back in the game, I don't think I need Sting in 2021 wrestling. I got the best of Sting tour in TNA. I got his end career in WWE. I had the best of him in WCW all these years. I think I'm over it. I don't need to see it. It's like I didn't need to see the Undertaker out there dying in every single match. It's over.
So we get the main event: Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho. Some people like this match. I thought it was just average to me.
It was an average.
I don't think it should have been a main event. They had some heat to it, but I don't think it should have been the main event. Like you're telling me this as a dream match, and it opened the show.
Yeah, I feel like Britt Baker stole Seth Rollins' entire moveset.
Yeah,
and
I think she did.
Super kicks and switchblades and stuff, which he stole himself. Like, it just, I was not into this match, and I didn't feel like the crowd was that into this match either. I feel like they were only clapping to stay awake because they've been so hyped up, and they realized Rampage is coming up next, where they have everything else happening in their thing. So I was not into this main event at all. Like, it's not on the to me, if a main event's gonna happen, they need to be at the Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, Bayley level of wrestlers, and I don't feel like neither one of these two are at that level. They're good mid-card wrestlers. Good mid-cards. Should have been the start of the show.
Eric thinks I think this would have been a better opener than a closing match. Yes, 100%. But as Maurice said, and I said, I think I've got in the notes. Yes, it was an AEW women's title match, so it probably should have main evented. But your world heavyweight champion is in a dream match with Bryan Danielson. So I still think that should have been the thing that closed the show.
I'm in the boat of dream matches should go over title matches. Because it's really hard to follow the dream match. In which, you remember Rock and Hogan. That piece of shit, by the way. Hulk Hogan. Had a match. And how are you going to follow that? That crowd was so hyped for that match. No one was able really to follow that shit.
But it was like, in the most recent NXT takeover, when we got Walter versus Dragunov 2 in the middle of the show, none of it mattered after that. Like, I didn't care about Kyle and Adam Cole. I didn't care about Samoa Joe and his overweight. Hey guys.
Oh, come on.
I actually just needed to hear that. To be honest.
You know what I do give credit for? I prefer Britt Baker's curse stop than Seth Rollins' curse stop. I don't know what she has. She has more snap to it. It's quicker. Seth kind of hangs on you. Hers is like, God damn it, die. And what was the other thing? It was something else I was gonna bring up. Britt Baker needs to stop cheating with her goons. No one's getting behind heel Britt Baker. Just make her a face. The finish was cartoonish. At best, it was a mediocre run-in interference finish. Mediocre.
Levi, no. I'm not even dignifying reading that. No.
I'm assuming it's because of looks and not ability. If that's the way we judge it, main events, Toxic Attraction is main event. NXT, SmackDown, main event, 205 Live. If that's the way we do it, main events, that's how it's gonna be. And I'll get you get a better V trigger in each one of those matches.
So, I don't agree with your B minus.
How dare you?
I'll give you a B.
Come on, come to the dark side. Give me a B minus. The minus is there because of FTR's gear. Oh no, the minus is also there because of the lack of people in color. They went full white. I don't even know how a telecast in 2021 can give me all white people in a show. I feel like by accident there's one person of color. Just one. Maybe someone doing an interview. Maybe someone picking up the ring or some shit. I don't know. But they managed to not give you a commentator, a referee, an announcer, a wrestler, a promo guy. They gave no black people on the show or any persons of colors. That's why they get a strike for that. FTR strike for wearing NWO gear. You don't copy someone's outfit. This is like me coming out, or it'd be like Ben Simmons deciding to dress up in a dress now after Russell Westbrook did at the Met Gala. It doesn't make sense.
So I was with you at the B minus at one point. So before I watched it, I was with you probably with the B minus. Then Arn fell off the apron and I was like, there's a B.
That's terrible. Also, Brandy's back. That takes away a B. That takes away a point as well. There's a lot of points being taken out.
So let's move over to NXT.
Down south slinging.
So, NXT kicked off with Tommaso Ciampa and the New Boys, the 2.0 boys, where Ciampa puts over the Future.
He went hard on this, and I want to say this. It looked like he had every version of every wrestler that has left WWE in the ring, but their knockoff edition. Yeah. Bull Buchanan's son looked like Dean Ambrose. You had a Kevin Owens in there. You had Fat Matt Morgan, Mark Henry, and Carmelo Hayes and Trick.
I don't even need him to have the name Williams anymore. Just call him Trick.
Just call him Trick.
So he puts them over. Everyone else comes out. So you got LA Knight. Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you. I'm a 40-year-old man talking to some young ass kids.
Pete Dunne tells them to tells the new kids to make a name for themselves, but all he sees is a bunch of geezers who are afraid to throw the first punch. And I see Trick Williams like, yeah.
yeah. I'm ready to get this. I'm ready to throw a chair. I'm ready to start this shit.
I tell you what, though, as much as annoying as his name is Trick, I can't keep it. I need to see every time he's on screen. It's like must see TV. Like, what the fuck is this guy gonna do? What is this guy gonna do this time?
What's that? Here we go. But he really had nothing to say this time in this opening segment, and I thought it started off pretty good and interesting. See where we're going with this title picture. They had all the quote unquote stars of the show involved in this / rookies, and they're still in this reestablished phase, which Eric brought up and says it's actually a little bit exciting watching because you don't know what these guys can do and you don't know what they're going to say or how you're going to respond to it. It's the intrigue of what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and then we get Kushida versus Roderick Strong for the Cruiserweight title. I enjoyed this match till the end.
Oh, where they had all the distractions and
All the
Creed brothers
distractions. And I get, do you know what it is?
Kushida got dropped.
I get that it's a heel faction and you're supposed to do shit like that. But it's just exactly how Kenny won the title and I didn't like it then.
Well, Kenny won the title with hit Mox with a microphone, which apparently is Mox with this. But Kushida lost because he got Superman punched by a 4'4" woman with lots of arm muscle. I believe she could have knocked him out with those arms.
She got guns.
She got guns. She can join the gun club with those.
You know,
by the way, no mentioning of the gun club, no Big Show on this show. We don't have any follow up to that turn.
Because
again.
No more BS. No more BS. We don't need it on TV. Grayson Waller come out at the end. He had a little banging little entrance music. I liked it.
Yeah, it was solid.
And then the young Australian calls a shot against Roderick Strong for the Cruiserweight title. And then Malcolm has his little spot, which is hilarious.
Yeah, hold on, let me talk to him. And,
do you know what I like? Do you think the thing that's been missing is someone that literally retorted in the most childish way possible? So, oh, do you have to talk to your parent for this?
Yes. Malcolm Bivens deserves his own sitcom. I feel like he reminds me of George Jefferson in modern. If George Jefferson were to manage a faction, it would be what Malcolm Bivens is doing. Hey, Weezy, his diamond mine.
And then they agreed to the match. So we've got that to look forward to next week. And I've got to ask you this question now.
Yes.
Do we have to get behind Tony D'Angelo?
Why? Because he's a racist character? Or
no, because he paid tribute to the guy that died at the docks.
They have a bunch of people. I thought the same thing about it. They had a guy that died at the docks and all this. I was like, oh god. Like last week, I tried to justify he wasn't that much of a stereotype. He just had an accent. This week, he went full Italian stereotype. My uncle at the dock. We had a bit of construction. We're trying to make money. We got a little thing, a little bada bing, a little bada bang, a little gabagool. A little of that. Check out the Sopranos movie coming out. All of that. I got a guy. All the whole thing. Forget about it.
And then I wrote this note as the Chivalry is dead guy.
Chivalry's dead guy was the top heel in NXT or in all of wrestling this week. What a dick who just walked through that door like that.
I'm sorry. And I may get some flack. Chivalry is dead. And women killed it.
Ah.
Because they started expecting everyone to... It's the expectation of all of that.
Be a gentleman, Manny. Be a gentleman.
No, I walk through
Be a gentleman
myself. I've worked a hard life.
But that dude deserves his ass whooped more than anybody else, and I hope he never makes it to the arena. Or next week we get a match between these two.
So we get a match between Amari Miller versus Kaylee Ray, which was a squash match, and which was also followed by Trey Baxter versus Dante Shen, which was another squash match. But Dante Shen, I believe, is the first. I think he's from Singapore. First WWE wrestler that's come from Singapore.
Yep, and I liked his finisher as well.
Yeah, it was like a package bomb.
Yeah, it was something. It looked familiar, but it different at the same time.
Did it
I
feel
was like,
like I thought that was a Michinoku driver, but I was like, maybe it isn't.
no. Michinoku Jai, you're upside down and you come down. This one, he had him like almost in like a DDT kind of arm, where it looked like he's going for a suplex and just falls down with it. I don't know how to describe it, but I think that's all he has because that match was like 1 minute.
Yeah, Eric said he's intrigued by the guy that held open the door. You should be, because he was the last man to beat Boa. Before Mei Ling decided that Boa needed lessons.
I like that Mei Ling came back for that one match and never wrestled again. It's like, I just need to show you how it's done. Whew, retired again. Down to you're a woman. I can only wrestle once a year.
We get Andre Chase University, which isn't great.
No, it's a turned down version of Thatcher.
Gulak's PowerPoint and and the Alpha Academy.
But I did like him throwing out Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, get out of here, Steve! Get out of here. The hell out of here, Steve! You don't know shit. Piece of shit, Steve.
Yeah, but they were actually bleeping out him throwing F-bombs, which is hilarious.
Yeah. I enjoyed that part, and I want to get that segment at least once a week where he throws out Steve.
So this is the part where I think this was very Vince McMahon, where Joe Gacy was in the ring hitting HR buzzwords such as microaggressions, conflict resolution, male privilege.
Yep.
I feel like this is Vince making you boo everything that's PC in the world so Vince can get over it.
It was clearly what was going on. And then after the match, he was like, that was my safe place. And he's shaking hands and shit. And I was like, Joe Gacy, everybody. But Manny, I think we're skipping over Boo Buchanan and what's his tag partners? I know his name's not Boo Buchanan, but I can't remember.
I've got it written down.
How they became a tag team, and we had Origin Video.
Yeah, Briggs and Jensen.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not sure why you're having a video package of your matches when that was the very match you lost.
Well, Manny, they're showing the package of how they became a tag team. And apparently they got into a bar fight, and they've been best of friends ever since.
That's how this show came about.
That video looked terrible.
That's how this show came about. We threw chairs at each other.
Yep. You throw a chair at somebody, you gotta buy them a drink after. It's just facts. Just facts.
So Joe Gacy did face off against Cameron Grimes, and Grimes made quick work of him, and then Gacy was all smiles and shit after the match. But this is where business picked up. Elektra Lopez versus Anna Shear. Compare this to B-Fab's match last week.
Much better. Much
This
better.
is according to if this is in comparison to B-Fab, this was a 5-star match.
Come on.
This is Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson.
She had a better opponent. B-Fab had to work with Catalina Garcia. You know how that is.
I could have a good match with Catalina Garcia.
Manny, I don't care about your fantasies, all right? But this was it was a solid match, and I still enjoy this Hit Row versus Legado feud. Probably the best feud in all of NXT right now, or as a crowd call it, 2.0. As the kids on the street.
So Santos says Elektra completes Legado. Elektra tells B-Fab to get her skinny ass out there.
Oh!
and then she attacks her from behind, and they have a little scrap, which
Yep.
I think B-Fab came out the worst on, because she caught a scratch right on her neck.
It happens in the heat of battle, you know. But this feud between them they're gonna fight to the death. I think we need to put them in a steel cage. And whatnot. But yeah, so next week I think this is the match, right?
Yeah, but next week we also have Raquel Gonzalez versus Frankie Monet for the NXT Women's title. But the most important thing about next week, Marcus, is the debut of Lashing Out with
Woo!
Lash Legend. The best name that have come out of NXT 2.0. See, Trick Williams Trick Williams was something last week. Like, don't get me wrong, like Bout It and all that.
Yeah.
Lashing Out with Lash
Yes.
Legend.
Yes.
Like, why didn't no one come out with this for Bobby Lashley?
Yeah. Why can't he lash out? I feel like
Lash
lash out
with
sounds like
Lashley.
something the kids would do. Lash out says, "Oh, you gonna lash out at your parents, huh?" But yeah, NXT is throwing all the guns next week with also the honeymoon of Loomis and Hartwell,
Yeah.
or the Loomises. Maybe that's what they're going by, the Loomises.
Eric Sauce is that John Legend's niece.
Let's let it happen.
I think that's the talent they got in there that was from the WNBA.
No, that's not her, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
I don't know if she's tall enough. Is she really tall? I don't know.
And then we
I
get
don't know.
OJ
They
Styles.
got so many damn black women on this show, it's hard to keep track, Betty.
I mean, there was way more just women of color on NXT than there were on AEW in general.
That's why they splashed all these colors to let you know that it's diverse here. Like we got purple, green, black, red, whatever you need kind of people here.
So
And that's just the women.
OJ Styles threw around two dudes, and then he was joined by Andre Chase, who tried to hit him with a chair, but the chair broke, and that ended that.
They're gonna kill each other eventually.
And then Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams remind Grayson that they have the contract, so even if he loses the same, if he wins next week, he can lose at the same night because they got that contract. They're keeping their options open.
Get out of here! Y'all are just nuisances. You're just nuisances in the back. Why are you threatening these little contract champions?
And then
Why are you threatening people with these low titles? You're going after one title, and that's Ciampa's title. Don't fuck it up and listen to Trick and say, nah, you need to go after the Cruiserweight title.
And then I think both of their kryptonite walked past. Because they just kept staring. They just kept staring.
Yeah, I thought Carmelo and Trick was about to catch the case, and mostly because Trick was going to go too far.
Trick was...
Back up, Trick! I'm going to file a complaint with HR, Trick. Jesus. But they came out, they talked nonsense, right?
They talk absolute nonsense. They made it... The only thing I could gather from it was they made it clear that they plan to take over all of NXT 2.0 because they want the women's tag titles.
Yep.
The promo work from all three needed work.
I was on board with it. I thought Mandy delivered her best promo of her career. And I'm not saying that's saying much. I'm just saying it's the best promo of her career. And Otis is the cause of all this shit. That's what I'm saying.
Io Shirai accepted the challenge, much to the old lady's
Who's trying to duck people? You know, like, what? You don't want to fight them? You don't think you can win? You like them? You don't want to kick their ass? Let's do it. And then another Aussie comes out of nowhere and threatens them.
I believe her name is Persia Perotta, and said that that these two are gonna take the tag titles once Indy's honeymoon is over.
Yeah, you know, she didn't talk to Indy about that. I don't know if Indy has that in her future.
And then we get a promo package for I can't remember his name. What's his name?
Who am I missing?
The Japanese guy.
Oh shoot, I don't remember this at all.
The one with the blazers or the jacket.
Oh, Ikemanjiro. We went to his mansion.
So I gotta ask you this question, Marcus. How do you like your Japanese men? Strong style or style strong?
I believe I like my Japanese man with a little bit of style strong and a little bit of strong style.
Given that you've got one of those jackets, I believe you are style strong.
But if he's not pantomiming and doing all this, it don't matter. I'm not into you just opening your jacket. Very handsome Japanese man right there. That's what I learned from that bag.
That is a question for the chat. Strong style or style strong?
We all know what size Seth Rollins fall on that way. Style strong.
And then we get the main event: Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland versus Tommaso Ciampa and Braun Breaker.
Every time Braun Breaker comes out to the ring, I can see Vince with an erection, going like, Ooh, that's my money right there. I never thought a Steiner would make me money, but here it is. Here it is. Thank you, God.
Eric says, strong style strong always. I just want Scott Steiner to come out and manage him. Is that too much to ask?
That is too much to ask.
I need to know that there's a 33%
Okay.
chance that he may win every week.
The problem is with Braun Breaker, because I'm going to call him by his new government name. Oh. Is that he sounds so much like Scott Steiner that I want him to break into Scott Steiner promos. I need him to say, I'm the big bad booty daddy, and I'm here to do all this. I need all of that. But we're never getting that. And I don't think Scott Steiner's ever making WWE TV again. I don't think Vince can ever trust that man. He's never going to trust that. He's never going to trust the Steiners with a live mic.
Oh, he will. He will.
Although Scott's wrestling with Jerry, so.
Scott's not going to mess up an opportunity for his nephew.
You don't know Scott Steiner like
if you hear me.
I tell you what, those sirens ever come out on a WWE program and he introduces his nephew, Manny, the war is over between WWE and AEW. The Steiners have won the war for WWE.
I'll tell you what, if
because Scott is going to have everybody turn the channel to see what he's going to say on the national stage.
If the sirens ever come out, even if it's they just add sirens to Braun Breaker's entrance because they've got the red lights, we don't review AEW for a week.
I take that bet. I'm sitting in my hand, Manny. I don't know how we shake it like that. Maybe if I go like this. There we go. There we go. Your arm is so small. Your arm is so small compared to mine.
Stop mentioning the smallness of my arms.
You got little T-Rex arms, Manny. I can't help it, you know.
I didn't mind the main event.
No, the main event was good.
Kyle O'Reilly came back, hit Ridge with the truncheon or the what club, how they referred to it.
Yeah, it's called a club. I don't know what the hell that is.
It's a truncheon. It's what the British police use.
I call it a shillelagh.
That's not a shillelagh.
I know
Shillelagh
it's
had
not.
a thing on the end.
Yeah, but it's the same weapon. I feel like. When I was watching Braun Breaker and Ridge Holland in the ring, I had flashbacks of OVW of watching a young John Cena and a Batista. Even though I didn't watch any of that shit, I'm just saying that's what I think Vince was looking at. Like, oh, this is who I want. These guys. Look at all this meat. Look at all that meat.
Oh yeah. Oh,
look at that meat.
rubbing his thighs.
Oiling himself up just for no reason too. Just
And then Breaker grips up the NXT title before giving it to Ciampa.
Yep.
Which this is a sign, isn't it? That this is Vince's guy.
Yeah, this is gonna happen. He's looked and touched and stared at that title too many times. And right now, the current plan for NXT is to use all their, I'm gonna say, their older indie talent to work with these young guys in the main event picture. Ciampa is gonna be working with, I guess, Dunn and I guess Ridge, while Braun Breaker is gonna work with. I don't even know who he's working with. I forgot what I was saying. They're all working with people. I forgot where I was going with that. Kyle O'Reilly's gonna work with Ridge. That's what I meant to say.
So yeah, that was the show. I enjoyed NXT.
I enjoyed it, and you know,
thing is, it's been a great. Do you know what? It's been a good week for wrestling. As much as we've joked about AEW towards like the back end of AEW, I still enjoyed wrestling, and then wrestling this week has been really good so far.
So the week.
But
yeah, you know, if you want to compare them all together, go ahead.
But nothing compares to the Squid Games.
Squid Games. Squid Games. If you're not watching Squid Games, Eric, I know you're in the chat. Put the goddamn Squid Games on right now. Put it on. And get your reading glasses, old man. Get your reading glasses. None of that dumb shit. Sorry,
man.
man.
I already know what he's going to be doing. This is what coming in the chat now.
Yeah. I can see it happening. I'm gonna make my wild take of the day.
Wild take.
I'm going to say Monday Night Raw is still the best show of the week. I don't think it's going to be beaten. I thought the main event, the opening match, and Raw was just a solid show this week. And they really tried.
I think AEW will get a 1.5 this week.
They better.
However, I didn't exactly think it was great when people were talking about the demo last week. When you beat them by 0.01, which equates to about 20,000 viewers. Don't be celebrating. Don't be celebrating 0.01. That's like
it's unstoppable.
That's like you going to a child. How old are you? They're not going to tell you they're just 5. They're going to tell you they're 5.5. I am 5.5 or 5 and 12 and 3 months. Just like those parents, when you ask a child that's older than a year and they go, they're 13 months. I'm like, fuck off.
42, 42 months. 42 months? It's talking years! It's talking years! It was talking in months. But I tell you this. And, you may jump on me for saying this, or, they may win the demo this week. But if they don't pull in a higher rating than when they debuted AEW, it is a disgrace, and all you wrestling fans need to have a shame of yourself for not doing it. What do you want them to do? They're literally, what's her name? I know what you did last time. Jennifer Love Hewitt screaming, what are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for? Just watch the damn show. These holdouts, just watch Dynamite or Rampage or this AEW stuff. They have good stuff on there. Like, I may be critical of them, but I'm not going to say, hey, you're going to have a bad night watching it. No, you're probably even going to have fun. Watch the damn show. They should not be doing the ratings they're doing. They should not be competing with Raw.
They should be crushing Raw, given that they have nothing on a Wednesday going up against them.
Raw is going against Monday Night Football and has been a stale brand for years. For at least 2 years of nothing happening on Monday Night Raw. AEW should stomp them in the ground this week. And I know I'm building them up just to come onto the show Saturday to be like, oh, that's embarrassing. They didn't do that. No, I'm not. I am 100% sincere. AEW needs to draw higher than what they did in their debut, which was their highest rating ever in their debut. And they have never recouped that. And they have all these stars, and they give you dream matches and all of this. There's no way they should be doing anything less than a 1.5.
When you look at that, we have 7 likes on the video. That's almost as many as the amount of dislikes on our last week's video of the wedding, where we got 13 dislikes.
And by the way, for those who dislike the show just because we have a different opinion, I value people with different opinions. Come on the show. Be like Levi. We may not agree on everything, but he's going to give his point. I'm going to give my point. And it's good. An opinion that is the exact same as mine is useless to me. I prefer different opinions. That way, it opens a discussion. Shit.
Yeah, and like Levi definitely has things where I give him demerits for, but he still comes back. He still appreciates my view. I appreciate his view.
Yeah, I appreciate Ralph. Like, I appreciate all the different views, whether it's Maurice, Levi, Ralph, Roland, Charles Davis. I don't care. I appreciate different views. Jen, whoever, Mike and James, all of these guys. Whether you disagree or love me, just bring it on. We can go point for point. I'm okay for it. But don't dislike a show because you have different opinions or you so sensitive and protective of your girl. If you're this sensitive over AEW, then that show has no chance because you fear that what I'm saying is too true, like Dan Lambert.
Do you know what? Eric Sauce, does Rampage hit 1 million tomorrow? I didn't know where to go after you said that. Does Rampage hit 1 million tomorrow? I think they'll struggle to get 1 million, mainly because it's coming on. Is it still coming on after SmackDown?
It's still coming on late after SmackDown. It's 2 hours. They still got random high school, college football games or something. It's a Friday night. They're going to probably get 8. I got 8,000. But all the minorities are on that show. That's where I'm going to be at. We got Pride and Powerful, and you got Hobbs and Shaw.
So realistic. So last week, I believe we created AEW Light Skin.
Yes.
But everyone else is on this show, so how are we gonna book AEW light skin this week? Levi says he loves us. Maurice says Raw and AEW fan bases are different. A lot of kids watch Raw, and Raw is different for families, so Raw will always have higher numbers. Which is interesting because did you see the tweet I posted in the mid-card mess this week from Doudrop? Where it was clearly aimed at the lying Dave Meltzer. I called it.
Oh man, what a dick!
Where she said, "Listen, you middle-aged white man. Sometimes things are not just for you. It's a long show. It might just whatever comes up might not just be for you." And I feel that's what it is.
Yeah, I feel like Dave Meltzer is the worst thing in the wrestling community. I swear to God. And whoever follows him and takes whatever he says the gospel is the worst thing. He's the most divisive person in wrestling for no real reason. The Alexa Bliss thing, talk about 1,500 people left. That didn't happen.
You would have noticed if 1,500 people left because apparently it was only 8,000 people in there.
Like what? Shit like that. And they should be doing this, and I hate this and all that. Like I feel like it's just causing more divisiveness between the AEW. It's fueling to the war, and it's not doing favors to AEW because people already think this fool's on the payroll. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You sound like if Tony Khan worked for you and stuff.
So where are we? So Eric says, "Damn, Marcus, you don't appreciate my views." I mean, you're a person. You're on the show. You don't count.
You don't count. We are the different. I consider us an entity. Yes, we may differ, but a lot of we have kind of a similar taste in the of wrestling. But I always like having a different taste. I can see like just different taste. I need to Skip Bayless on this show. LeBron never would. Kenny Omega would never want to be made big. He could never live up to the hype or do some shit like that. That's what Skip Bayless would do in wrestling.
Marie said they'll get 1 million this week. I'm not sure for Rampage. I think it's gonna be hard this week.
I don't think Rampage is gonna be NXT 2.0 this week. Who kept their rating? They kept their 700 and something. Vince wins again against Triple H 2 weeks in a row.
Eric says, "Since I had my awakening, I can enjoy all the product." That just makes it sound like you're a born again Christian.
Oh man, you haven't seen him in person. Eric's a full holy roller. He's full holy roller. That's what he does all day. Is call people over their follow. Have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? And I'm like, Eric, please stop calling me. Please stop. Please stop. He also calls people and be like, have you accepted Tony Khan as your Lord and Savior of pro wrestling? No, I'm not. As Marie says in the chat, Skip. Come on, Skip. That's who I want on the show, though. Just someone like Skip Bayless, just some wild-ass takes over going into the conscious of what he thinks these guys are saying. He's like, this is what LeBron is really doing.
I like wild Stephen A. I like when Stephen A is on his wild shit.
Yeah, he on the wild shit. Steve Kerr, this is racism. But Steve Nash got a job in the net. I'm like,
I like when he's gonna offend someone as well. It's like, Marcus, I respect you, and I appreciate all the hard work you do, but you're an asshole.
Yeah. It's 100% what you said, But let me remind you, as a black man in America,
he always drops that.
There is no way that Prescott can go onto that field and not be the most dominant man that goes in some rant. Oh no! When we talk about wild analysts on TV, shout out to Pat McAfee, shout out to Shannon Sharp, who are probably my two favorite people whenever I hear them talk because they're hilarious.
Oh, Pat McAfee when he joined the Mannings on Monday Night Football.
I wish I had audio when I was seeing it. I was like, this is great.
Hilarious.
Did Eric just call me Skip Marcus?
Yeah.
Fine, I don't start coming on with my toupee. And everybody knows a toupee. I don't know. No one ever calls him out on it. That is not his hair, people. That is not his hair. I'm just saying. This ain't slander. Sue me, Skip. If it's a toupee. Sue me, Skip.
Oh.
Shoot.
Is that a thing? My favorite Stephen A. rant was when he went after Hulk Hogan.
I've never seen that one.
What? Is
I'm
that a
sure it's
thing?
well deserved. I'm sure it's well deserved.
If that's a thing, we're playing it now.
Yeah. As a black man in America, Hulk Hogan ought to be ashamed of himself. He's a disgrace, and we should never have him enter a WWF ring again. I can see him saying F. Nice.
Oh, it's real.
Really? He goes up on Hulk Hogan? Not enough of that, by the way. Not enough.
Should we play it?
What? Are we going to get in trouble? Nah,
We might
let's
get-
go for it.
Let's go for it. Share,
Let's play some of it.
share screen. Chrome tab. Share audio.
Because there's not enough people in the world going up on Hulk. I think every Thursday should be a rant about Hulk Hogan. And I invite anybody on the show to come on to say fuck Hulk Hogan.
So can you see that?
I can. Oh, Skip!
No, this is old.
Yeah. Well, Hogan said Hogan's video came out years
He can
ago.
call it whatever.
Can
he
you hear that?
wants.
Yeah, I
He's
can hear him.
fired. He deserved to be fired. We can't dispute that. When you listen to the rhetoric coming out of his mouth, the
Rhetoric.
stuff that he was spewing, it was vicious.
This is serious Stephen A.
It was meant in the negative fashion that Skip so eloquently states on multiple occasions, where it doesn't matter to me and a lot of black folks whether it ends with the A or the hard ER, as Skip would say it. But clearly, if anybody meant it with the hard
so serious.
ER, it would be what we heard from Hulk Hogan. There's no question about it.
Absolutely.
What I found myself
Oh,
paying
come on.
attention
Elevate
to
it.
just as much, however, was the hypocrisy of the WWE.
Oh, shit.
I grew up watching wrestling. I was an NWA fan when Ric Flair, the Nature Boy,
NWO,
who I had the
you
pleasure
fool.
of meeting during
Oh,
the NBA
no.
finals.
Oh,
by
no.
the way.
No, that's not safe to
Dusty
say right now.
Rhodes,
Don't say you know Ric
Lucky Dre,
Flair.
Magnum TA, and the Road Warriors. Those are the guys I grew up loving. Of
Oh, he's
course,
serious
I
about
saw
Magnum
Hulk
TA.
Hogan and Andre the Giant and Jimmy Superfly Snooker and all of those boys. And I remember
Snooker's
not
a murderer.
paying that much attention to it at that time.
Reese, I like
But
looking
I
at
remember
Charlie
the
now.
Rowdy Pipers.
Yeah, I miss
having,
Charlie.
Jimmy
Charlie's
Superfly
better.
Snook on one of his shows, if I remember correctly.
That's the
After
worst picture of
insulting
him.
him and then surrounding the set with coconuts and pineapples and stuff like that.
Yeah, he had
Knocking
that
him
red
over the head with
episode.
it. I remember Booker T being in the ring with Triple H and Triple H uttering some negative words in his direction. I remember. the one
Why
and
does he
only
have this
Jesse the Body
information?
Ventura, who not only was a wrestler but also happens to be the 38th governor of the state of Minnesota,
does this
elected
have to
there
do
in
with anything?
1999.
Why is he going on so long to
served
get his
from
point
1999
across?
2003.
I
This
feel
man
like he
was a
did some
governor.
wrestling research
It
and
was
wanted
not
everybody to know
before.
it.
It was after he sat up there and would call, a particular black wrestler buckwheat when he would sit there and I forgot who it was. I think it was Tito Santana when he called his,
Don't put
Louis
Tito in there.
burrito and
Oh,
you know,
yep, yeah, he
brought
did.
in, roast tacos and all of this other stuff. I mean, when you see the history of racial insensitivity permeating the world wrestling, at the time it was the World Wrestling Federation, now it's the WWE, it amazed me how quick they were to dismiss themselves from Hulk Hogan when a legitimate argument could be made. They created Hulk Hogan.
Wait, is he defending
Hulk
Hogan?
Hogan we see in the ring,
Yeah.
but the Hulk Hogan we heard on the tape, because it was a behavior that quite honestly appeared at least to be encouraged by this organization in an effort to really establish yourself as a villain, thereby establishing heroes and making sure they combated one another. So you had somebody to root for, root against, and then elevated their product. So seeing that,
I wanted to hear him
As a
really
black
rant.
man,
Like, there it
I
is.
know that what
Take a
Hulk
drink.
Hogan said was egregious and heinous, and he deserved to be fired. I'm not going to even waste my breath talking about that. It is clear how he feels about black people. I can tell you that much. There ain't no way to deny that, and especially since it's
Argue with him,
something
Skip.
serious.
Tell Hogan it's not like
You
that. It was an
tell
accident.
your daughter
Argue, Skip.
dating you clear. We understand how you feel, Hulk Hogan. Ain't no way around that.
No way.
And I said what I said about the WWE. The only thing that gives me cause to pause or at least momentarily it did, was the fact that this happened 8 years ago. It was privately in his home. He was talking to a friend who secretly taped it. And, you know, you get upset about that because even though, you know, I doubt sincerely that you'll catch any of us saying something so heinous, the fact of the matter is I don't know if any of us can say any, you know, every single word that we say privately is something that we would want everybody to know publicly. But unfortunately, I get to look at it this way. If that's an argument we could use, then Donald Sterling could have used it last summer.
Good point.
When he got caught on tape, you know, with his, you know, his mistress. So
why are they covering this so hard? He's been on there like, what, 5 minutes?
But you indicate a small
4
measure
minutes.
of sympathy.
Go on, get him, Skip.
This very
Get him,
sport
Skip.
you have long
Tell him that he's not a racist, Skip.
has encouraged its villains to play to racist stereotypes. Am I right?
Well, it's not sympathy because of that.
Hollywood, he was Hollywood Hogan
then,
then.
which is why I turned away from the sport.
Really? Because I was going to ask you, how can you still be a wrestling fan when they resort to this?
I'm a rock fan, meaning Dwayne Johnson. I'm
Oh,
a big rock fan.
Oh, come on.
You
But I'm not
shill.
a fan of the sport anymore. When I was younger, I watched it, but as you grow older and you become more intelligent and more informed, and you really, really witness and you can comprehend and decipher what's going on, you're uncomfortable with it.
He found out wrestling was fake.
That you bring
He
into
blew
work.
it,
The
fucked him
only
up.
sympathetic part about all of this
He's
is
like,
that
Hulk
it was a
Hogan,
private
you a
conversation
fraud.
8 years ago in a home, and it was
You a
secretly
damn
taped by
fraud.
someone, because something like that could happen to anybody, and I don't like stuff like that. But that's about it.
Okay, just for the record, even when you were a kid watching wrestling, did you think it was real?
No.
Okay, so
No.
just for the record, these
What that
villains, they're playing a part, right?
Yes.
Just for the record. I want to make sure you didn't grow up thinking
As a
this is
kid.
all real.
No.
Okay.
None of it. I knew it was fake.
Now back to your
What is that?
question, which is going to take me back to the Riley Cooper incident.
You know what the sad part
with
about
the
this
Eagles.
is that they could. There's not even a person
Right.
out there that
I'm
isn't
gonna
in
say again what I
WWE that
told
would
you
ask to go onto
that
their show
next day,
to
yeah,
talk
when the
about
story
this.
broke.
Like the
That
only person
word
I'd be like, oh, we gotta have
was
an expert,
caught
The
on
Miz,
cell
come
phone
on and talk.
video uttering
The
at a
comprehension.
country
Maybe John
concert.
Cena.
The one, as you point out, ending in the hard ER, spoken by a white man in that case.
He said it in his head, by
It's
the way. Skip
the
said
most
it in his
evil
head.
word in our language. I told you then, I wish there's some way we could eradicate that word and all it has stood for down through history of this country, the shameful history of this country.
Understood.
And there we have it.
Yep. It could have been a bigger rant. I could have went off. Hogan's a piece of shit. I don't understand why it's not National Fuck Hulk Hogan Day in America. Maybe we make that September. How about next week? My birthday is National Fuck Hulk Hogan Day. Just everybody with their chest sticked out, talking about "fuck you, brother," and then the other half of the world going like this. That's how I feel about that.
Mariti was laughing at that. He said it in his head. Did you see that? There's a pause though, because like
Yeah,
there was a pause where I was like, it may have slipped out.
yeah. He was
He
like,
said
"Let
it
me
in
be
his
cut."
head. I was saying it in my head.
That
While
word.
talking. Da, 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 da.
What's the substitute for nigga? That word. ER. Like, you know. Like, I'm not expecting every white man to be like, or every person to, because like, I'm going to take the N word, or just, you know, stop saying nigga. I know it's going to happen. You're going to say it in your head. It's a word that's been out there, so it's a word. But to call somebody that way, man, you better be expecting a punch in the face. And I don't think Hogan never got that punch in
Minimum
the face.
a punch in the face.
Yeah, a minimum. Hogan never got that punch in the face. And I think he's due for that. And Chris Hemsworth for playing Hulk Hogan in the movie deserves to get punched in the face. You know I
Nah.
do like Mr. Chris. He's gonna play it straight. There's not gonna be that racist shit. Hulk Hogan's gonna be a hero in that movie, and you know it.
Exactly. And on that note, we have ran on way too long because we decided to watch it. I decided to watch this video.
It's alright. Skip Hayes.
Maybe we'll watch another video next week on Saturday if it comes to it.
That's what we should do. I say I vote for Ted DiBiase, Bret Hart. No commentary.
No, we cannot put that on.
Pure breathing. Pure breathing.
Do you know what I want to do? Eric, could you get the audio from that video and then I'll just play it in the background while we talk on Saturday. I actually hurt my hand doing that.
Yeah, you should be careful. You should be careful. All
And
right.
on that note, guys, we'll be back on Saturday for
If
possibly
we
the
survive
last
the Squid
Saturday.
Game.
Oh, I'm surviving the Squid Games.
You gonna survive that? You gonna survive the Squid Game? I don't know.
I'm an intelligent guy.
You would have been dead, red light, green light, Manny. Me too.
Oh no,
Accept it.
Marcus, you haven't got to the part. You'll see the part where if you survived red light, green light, there's a part in it where you'll see we're both dying at that point. It's a later episode, but we're both dying at that point.
Yeah.
Just text me when you get to that point.
I don't even know it.
Yeah,
I just
you'll
know I'm
know.
dead. I
You'll
know I'm
know.
dead. I know I'm dead.
Just
like-
let's go. You survive red light, green light. There's gonna be a part in it where you both, when you're gonna know me and you are both gonna die, provided we make it past the next few games. So on that note,
We should. That should be the question, by the way. For those who are going to watch the Squid Games, tell us what episodes you died in.
yeah, what game do you die in, or what stage do you die in? Let us know either by email at thesharpshooters@gmail.com, or just leave a comment, or just comment on Saturday and drop it in the live comment. But just make sure you've watched the Squid Games come Saturday,
Yeah.
and that's the end of the show. Peace.
Peace. Fuck Hogan.